Hmm. Hello. Hi, Gaurav. Am I audible and visible?
Hello, yes.
Yes, yes.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. As you must know, I am Anish and I'm here on behalf of the National Law Training Institute. So, a lot of you reached out to us regarding your concerns surrounding how to clear your GK backlog, how to prepare for the next 4 months for GK. And as you all know, CLAT has not been asking very conventional GK in the last few years. And it has been asking you very Instagram, Twitter GK and GK that you should know being a citizen of India and all these things, and not very conventional GK like who is the president of the FATF, which country did this, which country did that. So in this regard, you had a lot of concerns and you had a lot of queries, and that's why we are having this session today called the GK Rush. Given that only 4 months are left, and you must have a very big backlog of some 6-7 months now. So we have Gaurav today with us, who will be assuaging all your concerns surrounding your GK preparation and also giving you a strategy how to go about for the next 4 months. And you are free to clear all your doubts that you might have regarding your GK preparation and any other doubt that you would have broadly surrounding the CLAT pattern. So over to you, Gaurav. Let them know how you prepared for CLAT 23 and what was your strategy for GK section, and also guide them to ACE CLAT 2024. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, Anish. Hello, everyone. My name is Gaurav, and am I audible?
Yeah, Gaurav, you're audible, and also I'll be leaving the session. So if there is any problem that you're facing, just text me on WhatsApp. I'll make you the host so that you can share
Okay,
the screen.
thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Gaurav, as he said. I am currently in LSIU, and I am in my first year, and I would like to coach you all over how to prepare for GK in 4 months. And if you have any doubts, I guess keep texting me. I'll see it and address accordingly. Uh, so let's start. Hmm. Okay. Firstly, as I said, I'm Gaurav Krishna. You know me, I guess. No, you don't know. So I'm in my first year, and yes, I just started in LSIU, and I faced a lot of difficulties in preparing for GK, especially in my final stages. So, I want to make it easier for all of you. So I'll start now. So basically, roadmap, we'll be going along and looking at sources. We'll be looking at how to cover our backlogs. We'll be looking how to revise. We'll be looking at certain CLAT strategies which she could use to make it easier for us. And at the end, we're going to provide short, sweet summary and yes, cool down. Okay. So sources. Firstly, newspapers. Definitely yes. Newspapers are the best, I guess, source for GK you can have. The best newspaper would be the Hindu, obviously, but when I prepared for my GK, I did not have the Hindu in my area, so I relied on the Indian Express, and that is also pretty good. You can choose between the Hindu and the Indian Express. They are both pretty good, though the Hindu would be the first priority. Okay, I'll tell you what are you supposed to read in the newspaper. Read the first page, definitely important. Read the current burning topics, and they provide you the map, I guess. Yes, so you can read the most burning topics in the first page. Skip the sports news, not at all relevant. Skip the editorials. They'll use it as passages, but they won't help you much to read. Read the international news, very important. Is there anything else? No. Read the first page, international news. National news, no city news. The city news is pointless. And Google. Google is once again one of the best sources for your GK prep. Just when you read the newspaper, they'll throw across a few terms, few new topics which I haven't heard of. So you have to just go Google it, and I would recommend you to add UPSC at the end of this, because when you do that, they'll give you searches based on UPSC, and UPSC GK is an advanced version of CLAT. So if you study from that, it will pretty much help you a lot for CLAT. So there are a lot of good websites for UPSC preparation, and Byju's IAS is not bad, and you can use all of them for your GK prep. Uh, NLTI compendium, yes. The NLTI offers like one GK Gazette, and like if you use that, it will be really, really good for you. It's like it offers you a monthly flow, and like you can read it, and like you will understand what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do, and it will help you a lot during your preparation. And mocks, yes, mocks are like so. I can't express how exactly how much importance mocks have during your GK preparation. Like not in the way you expect, I guess. Like as you give mocks, you will come across new terms and new burning topics which I haven't even heard of. So like you'll know ki, hi, I have to study for this and I have to study for that. And like there are like few questions in mocks also like for GK, and like you will get a good overview ki, I'm supposed to like prepare for my GK this way. I'm supposed to like prepare for questions in this manner. So it will definitely help you a lot. I relied a lot on my mocks and like Google newspaper and LTI compendium, and it worked out pretty well for me, I guess. Backlog. How are you supposed to cover backlogs? Wait. Yes, the Indian Express explain page is like really, really good. Like, they give you a really detailed version, though. Like, I would say not exactly. Don't go into too much detail because like they don't ask you that much detail like it's MCQ. So, but still, like the Indian Express explain page is like pretty good for that. My notes, I don't have like I made handwritten notes. I would recommend you to make handwritten notes because digital notes are like pretty stupid. Because the thing is, key when you're trying to do it digitally, you get distracted a lot, and like I personally got distracted a lot, and like I stopped doing digitally, and like handwritten are pretty better. Like because when you're like traveling to even the exam site, you'll like it will be easy for you to read it when you're written it in your own hand because you know ki I have this ease. You get a feeling of comfort when you read your own handwritten notes. Okay, backlog. How to cover your backlogs? Uh, YouTube videos. Yes, like search for UPSC once again. Search any topic or like what I did during my final week of GK prep, which you can do in your last 4 months also, is that take this entire past year. Like the CLAT is in December 2023, so like take it from December 2022. Search on YouTube for like December 2022 CLAT, not even CLAT, monthly GK preparation videos. Like they'll have an hour long or 2 hour long sessions or like UPSC videos preferably, and like they'll explain a lot on that. And I didn't have much time, so I used it in 2x, like watch it double the speed. So like you'll cover more in less time, and you get a pretty good idea. Also make notes while watching that video. Don't just like watch the video and like just skip it, because I remember I skipped a topic like that and like it came in my CLAT and I forgot it and I lost a couple marks over that. But yes, it will be really good for you. Refer to a friend's note. If you have any friend like whom you know is like preparing for CLAT and like your batchmate only, I guess, you can like ask them for their notes on GK and all. It will offer you fresh perspective, and you'll be like, you have a better idea of how to go about it. Like when you read somebody else's notes, you realize how they are preparing in their POV, and like that helps you a lot over this. I also did it, and like it was pretty useful. Monthly current affair books. It's not exactly the top of the list idea, but it can be pretty useful. There are like UPSC books only. Like there are no CLAT oriented books except NLTI compendium, I guess. So I would recommend you like go for competition success review, CSR, and general knowledge today, GKT. These are like good ones, especially GKT. It's like small, concise, and to the point. You'll know ki, what are the burning topics. You'll know ki exactly current features of that, and like it will help you a lot doing this. Once again, quants. Quants. I don't think you're supposed to like. I'm not supposed to talk about quantitative aptitude here. But what should keep in mind while being supervised purpose of GK? Like what things like date, PM, etc. What you're supposed to keep in mind while doing this, I'll discuss it in the strategy section here. Okay, next revision. Your 4 months are remaining, so it would be better for you to like revise what you have made notes, because personally, I like filled about 4 to 5 copies of GK notes, and I never got the time to read it all. So like, you have to like start revising pretty early itself. I would advise you to start now itself. Like devote your time for your current affairs for like what happened today and yesterday, and devote your time for your previous notes also. Browse through notes, yes, definitely. And if you could like just rewrite those notes in a separate copy, keep it really, really short. I'll show you how to do that later, but like keep it as small as you can. Don't use like sentences and all. That is like pretty stupid advice. Uh, like I want to say ki PM Narendra Modi. Like I want to say ki Narendra Modi is our current prime minister. I won't like write the entire sentence. I would just like ki Narendra Modi. I would draw an arrow. I would like prime minister. That's enough because it saves time, and like even while reading it, you are able to understand it more easily. Reduce attention as you go back in time. That like it might not make sense, but what I meant by this is ki don't like start it from like you started preparing for this GK at January. So like don't start from January, February, March, April. Go backwards like October and so on back forth. So because if you do that, then like as you keep on going, your attention span reduces, and you're supposed to pay more attention to the recent events. Like what happened in October is far more likely to come the exam than what happened in January. So, do that, and like don't pay as much attention to the events in January that happened as compared to like July or October. Yes. How many marks did I give in total, and how many should you give right now in a week? It's a last 4 months, right? My advice: do as many as you can. If you have boards or something, like you have to dedicate a lot of time for mocks. Keep yourself in a room. Don't use uh, digital stuff. Like don't use the PDFs and all to like attempt the mocks. Just uh, take printouts or like buy a mock test book and give your paper by that. Keep an OMR and keep a glass of water. Don't go out. Don't leave your chair. Basically, you have to sit there for like at least 2 hours. You have to stay there at all costs. No matter what happens, you are not supposed to leave your chair. You're supposed to stay focused. Even if you're not able to attempt it, like you feel sleepy, you sleep in between. Don't leave the chair. You are supposed to like have that attention span by now so that you are able to attempt it later. Uh, make mind maps and flowcharts. Yes, make them. I'll give you an advice on idea of how to do this. This is happening, So like keep a main topic, divide into subtopics, and like you have mini topics on either side. So like I said ki government of India, it has this so and so ministry, and so ministry release so and so policy, so and so act. And like you can even divide it further, like this affected so many people, like add as many details as you can, but like don't make it too big. You have to like keep it concise. You have to remember it by the end. So like make it in a way that you remember it. What is mindset while attempting mock, like I become exhausted till last second. Uh, I can't like exactly describe how to do this, but the thing is ki if you're like lacking while doing the mocks, it's fine. Don't get too much stressed over this. When you like appear for CLAT, you will be like so charged, you won't have like an ounce of sleepiness left in you, even if you had not slept the entire night. But if you're like supposed to say energized during the week, during the mocks, drink water whenever you feel sleepy. I do that in class also right now. Drink as much water as you can. Like when you're feeling sleepy, drink a glass of water. It like actually reduces sleepiness. Also, you feel more attentive over that. And I realized, sorry, I did not answer how many mocks you're not supposed to give in a week. Give one every day. Yes, give one every day. During your last month or like last 2 weeks, give I guess 2 mocks per day. It will help you a lot. And like I would advise you to take a break from school during the last week or something so that like you are able to better focus on that. You know how the mind map works, I guess. I told you just now. Strategy. I'm going to take a lot of time in strategy because this is the most important point for GK prep. Make bullet points. Don't use stars to like make it, or don't use paragraphs, don't use sentences. Make bullet points and keep only the important stuff. I can't tell you how important this is. Uh, Only the important stuff, nothing else. Okay. I messed up a lot because like I made notes about random stuff and like that was not even important, and I wasted a lot of time over that. So don't do that. Make bullet points for important stuff only. Don't exclude the rest of it. Like, I know ki when you started your prep, you were like really energized. You made notes about every single thing you found in newspaper, but it's not going to help you later. You're just going to waste your time reading it again and again and again when it's not even going to help you. So make the bullet points, remember what you made, and you have to like, the reason I advise you to make bullet and not anything else is because bullet, like it takes shorter time to make a circle. It's pretty easy. And when you make bullet points, you like get a feeling of easiness. Like, you feel better when you make bullet points and write it down, like making star marks. Because like, I guess it's just a me problem, but like when I made star marks, I was too focused on like decorating it and all. So I wasted a lot of time. So time is of the essence right now. You have only 4 months. That's definitely very less. So make bullet points, keep it small, keep it important. As I said in the second point, keep it short. Like the PM Modi, Narendra Modi example, Narendra Modi arrow PM. Don't waste your time like giving it too flowery or too beautiful, because beautiful is not going to help you in the end. It's like you have to like write it in shorthand. So you have to keep it as short as you can. Remember what you're writing. So you have to remember, if you like write the entire sentence, you like try to remember the entire sentence. So like it is not going to help you. I can personally assure you that. I won't like, it's way easier for me to remember ki PM Narendra Modi is like, Narendra Modi is the PM, than like our country's prime minister's name is Narendra Modi. He was elected in so and so. It's easier like Narendra Modi arrow PM arrow 2014. Focus more on recent events. Huh. Uh, like I said in the revision strategy itself, revision as you go back in time, uh, what happened recently is more likely to come in the exams than the ones which happened like way ago. I remember this in CLAT 2022. They asked, like, they gave an excerpt from a paragraph which was just 2 weeks ago. So, it will help you a lot if you like keep it, keep your relevancy as according to the event as soon as it happened. Read out the history of the event. This is like something I would like advise you over. Just wait a minute. I'll be right. Okay, very sorry for that. I had to like attend some things. Read out the history of the event. Any event it is, like say there's like these petitions which are being brought up in the Supreme Court about the abrogation of Article 370 even right now. So like you have to read about the history of the event. Like if it's recent, you have to read, focus more on the history. Like this, the JNK example, you have to like read when it was abrogated, why it was abrogated, and like relevant articles. You have to read about why it happened, when it happened, and like when the first article was introduced and why it was introduced by whom. Check the noise proximity. That is like, once again, something which is pretty important. How do I explain this? Okay, don't get too distracted while looking up the history. These are like interconnected. Like if I'm checking this, like if I just Google it right now, I trust that you can see this. So J and K article abrogation. I Googled this and like I went to the news. I just see this like Radha Kumar writes, after abrogation of Article 370, there's no normalcy in Kashmir. That's not relevant. You don't need to know what people think about that article. You have to know what happened. You need to remember the facts, not the opinions. That is very important. Like you can't just waste time reading out the facts. you can't waste time reading on the opinion. You have to read what the facts are. You have to remember what happened, not what people think about what happened. So that is what I mean by knowledge proximity. Awards, once again, very important. You have to remember like important awards which are given out every year, like basically awards given by the Indian government, awards given by the United Nations. uh, the United Nations, like, it has many sister organizations, so you have to remember which award is given by whom also. So like how, once again, I would advise you to create a mind map over this, like keep awards in the center and like name an award, and you have to remember some few points over the awards, like point number one, uh, who received it this year. Point number two, why they received it. Point number three, who received it last year. Point number four, why that person received it. Point number five, who received it for the first time. Point number six, who gives out the awards. And point number seven, who was the first Indian to receive that award. So like these 7 points, who received it this year, who received it last year, why they both received it, 4 points. Who gives it out, why the first person received it, who was the first person, and who was the first Indian to receive it. These 7 points are very important. I can't stress it enough. I kept repeating these again and again, and that helped me a lot. Uh, I did not give my CLAT in 11th, I gave it in 12th, and yes, I cleared it. How much time is it okay to give to a single topic? While prepping, how much are you supposed to give out? You're not supposed to give much time to, but you have 4 months now. So like I would say ki devote, like if it's a big topic, then devote an hour or two. If a small topic, then 15 to 20 minutes, not much. Don't waste time. Once again, don't waste time Googling stuff and like getting distracted by YouTubing. Don't scroll down. Don't watch random cat memes or something. You're supposed to focus on your studies. Okay, 7 topics. Okay. How many topics per day is good? It depends on what the topics are, but like I would say on an average of 4 to 5 to 6 topics is pretty good. The 7 points. Okay, who was the who received the award this year? Point number one. Why that person received it? Point number two. Which person received it last year? Point number three. Why that person received it? Point number four. Point number five. Who gives out the awards? Point number six. Who received it for the first time? And point number seven. Who was the first Indian to receive that award? Hope you get it. Organizations, once again, similar to awards. Like we all know the United Nations, but we don't know how many sister committees the United Nations has. Like it has UNDP, it has UNHRC, it has a lot of sister organizations, and you won't even like know ki there are so many organizations. So prepare for that. You have to remember each and every sister organization of the UN, and there are other also, like there's WHO, World Organization, there's World Bank. So like you have to remember all of them. You have to remember notable famous organizations like the Nobel Foundation, and you have to remember all the Indian government organizations. I'll just show you how to do this. Okay, Government of India organizations. Okay, I spelled it wrong. Just know that. Like this. You have to research about all of these. Like, if they're like relevant or if they're important, you have to read about that. Like Government of India, Union Council of Ministers. Scroll down, like this. Wait, do they have this? Ministries, yes, ministries. You have to remember all of them. Like NIC, National Informatics Center. You have to remember this, and then there are other organizations like LIC. Remember about LIC. Like you have to remember what LIC is. You have to remember what NPS is, like National Pension Scheme. You have to remember all of that. And about these, you have to like remember a few points about them. When were they first instituted? I hope you're noting down all this. Like it's pretty important. When were they first instituted, and by which act they were instituted? That's pretty important. Who was the first chairman or something? uh, was the first chairman, I guess. Huh. Was the first chairman, or if it's like a board of directors, like remember the head of the directors. And this is like pretty important. Remember ki if it's a public organization, a private organization, or like a mix of both. Like I think LIC is like a 51% government owned organization. So like you have to remember that ki, huh, it's owned by the public also at the same time. Like there are stocks out which are like bought by the public. And acts and policies, very important. Uh, but I would advise you not to read all the acts and policies, because like I tried to do that and it messed up my CLAT preparation. Don't read all of them. Like just I would say ki Google it. Indian acts, Indian government acts, I guess. The government acts. Don't look at these. These are like a waste of time, I would say. Look at these. Like, huh, Right Information Act. It was recently in the news. It's important. The Digital India Act. Yes, it's a draft. It's even more important. It's going to be passed soon, so they might ask you for that in the CLAT exam. And also, like uh, one thing I neglected, and I think a lot of people neglect during CLAT preparation, is ki we don't focus on economics much. So, like any any article you read regarding economics of like any country, any even especially India, you have to like focus a lot on that. You are supposed to remember ki ha, this is happening in a country right now. So and so revenue bill is being formed. So and so bills are being found related to economy. The finance minister thinks about this, and like finance minister his statement is this and so. Like, economy is pretty important for this. Also, like you have to read about that key, how much allocation it had. Like, so say a new organization being formed, you have to remember ki how much revenue is being allocated to that research, like for that organization, because you have to like they might ask you that in the CLAT examination. Like I did not study that, and like it kind of messed up my exams. If you don't have a school on a day, how many hours should we give to CLAT? Hmm. Uh, all day? Like just if you don't have homework or something, I would say all day. And like if you can't devote your entire day, then like devote a bit of time for exams or something for school, but devote as much time as you can for CLAT prep, especially now because 4 months are remaining. Once again, it's not much. Don't bother with specific data, like you don't need to, like if some event occurred, some tragedy occurred, you don't have to remember ki what's the death rate, what's the mortality rate. Remember, death rate is important. Remember how many people died, but don't remember ki the government sent in so many choppers and like so many people were like evacuated, so many people died during the evacuation. Like you have to remember the exact death toll. That's important. And you don't have to like remember how much funds the government allocated for that disaster. That is important. Cabinet. Uh, I haven't like exactly specified what I mean by cabinet here. I'll just like show you what I mean. Cabinet of India. They'll show this updated list of Council of Ministers. Don't go that. You for the Union Council of Ministers. I think they have this here only. Do they? Yes. These are important. You have to remember which minister is which for which department portfolio. And like the thing is ki we all try to remember the important ones. Like we all know who the Minister for External Affairs is, who the Minister for Finance is, but we don't remember things like social justice and empowerment. And CLAT focuses on stuff which we don't exactly focus much on, like Minister of Jal Shakti. It was formulated recently, this Jal Shakti wala portfolio. So you have to remember who first started this, who is on that right now. MSME, important, very important. Animal husbandry. They might ask you like, they might give you a article about there's like chicken pox, no, not chicken pox, cow pox like going around, like people, the cows are dying or something. And they'll like in the questions, they'll ask you who is the Minister of Animal Husbandry, and like you'll be like pretty much blank, like, what should the answer is Purushottam Rupala. And even I did not know that like during my CLAT prep, and like I discovered that during my exams. Uh, days. I don't I haven't specified exactly. Wait, I'll just answer the questions first. Are state news important? No. don't waste much time on state news unless like it is of so much importance that it makes the national limelight. Don't focus much on state news because the CLAT POVs ki when they make the paper, they are like accommodating students from all over the country. So I don't think they'll focus specifically on one state itself. I neglected the state news a lot, and it did not like make any effect on me. भैया कितनी देर सेशन चलेगी? It's for an hour. Sorry for your bore. Where can we prepare one-liners from? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you like elaborate on that question? Because now CLAT has 120 questions. What should be ideal score 3 by 4 months into your exam? There's no such like it differs from person to person. So don't exactly focus on that. I would say don't get disheartened by how much your score is because no matter what happens, you will eventually like find a way to do it. And there's no ideal score as such, but try to keep your score above 80. And that's for just the beginning. Like eventually you have to try to push up your score to like 100 somethings. So is it necessary to link a particular news with the cabinet or cabinet ministry? Yes, very important, very, very important. When you're studying any news, like if it's regarding some ministry, you have to like remember which ministry it is regarding and like who the head of that ministry is, which like when was that person elected and all. You have to remember that because they ask you questions like that. They like form a chain, like event. They'll like connect the dots. Like, this is regarding the which company, who formulated the company, when was it started, who is belonging to that company. So you have to like go through a chain entire. One last like headlines of daily current affairs. Don't just go on the headlines. Uh, don't remember the one-liners. You have to like go into a little detail at least because they ask you 5 questions regarding that. So like I don't think you will be like able to do it with just one line of that. So is necessary link of bullying? Yes, okay. Yeah, days yaad rakhna karna bhi important hai. Yes, days are very important. I can't stress how important that is. Doing weekly months, I don't know what that is. I'll talk about days now and then I'll like answer the questions. Days. So what I mean is ki, like there are a lot of days designated by the government. Like there is Water Day, there is Earth Day, there is like some are organized by like the international organizations, some are like by Indian government, and like you have to remember all of them. I actually like created this list for you, calendar of events. Like you could like Google this and like bookmark this because this is important. They ask you about all this, and like there are a lot of days which are not mentioned here. So like I would advise you to like just Google it. Ki I'm going to search for Water Day. Say so I Google Water Day. They tell me it's on 22nd March. So I have to remember what that day is, and then like there are relevant days below that. So like you have to remember those, but don't remember all of that. Like I don't think World Theatre Day is important, International Women's Day important, Environment Day very important because I did not mention this. They talk a lot about environment recently. So environment has always been the news, like sustainable climate change and also you have to study a lot about environment and anything related to environment. And another thing related to these days, the theme. You have to remember every day's theme for this year and the previous year because they ask you a theme, like what happened, like what theme was it for Water Day 2023, and if you don't know that, you're screwed. I did not particularly like remember the themes before my mocks, and I like attempted a lot of mocks and I remember so and so. And also don't skip any day. I remembered about like 40 to 50 days, like exactly dates, their themes, and what it is about. But the day I missed out, which was Voter Day, that was the day they asked in the question. So I lost that question. So we have to remember it like that. Days, theme, yes, I'll answer the questions first. Where days are important? Yes. So overly into depth, like jumping from one news to another, like sometimes you get too much into like depth, but Don't do that. It's stupid. It's not important. And okay, I should not say stupid, but yes, it is. Uh, don't focus too much. Like, you have to know the surface level knowledge, and you have to like know all the surface level knowledge. Like, you have to link it properly. Like, at least like if you're reading about some current topic, like try to form about 7 to 8 questions about that. Like, say you're reading about some water crisis, you're supposed to know which country is facing water crisis, and about India, like which who is the Jal Shakti minister, and what is Water Day, what theme was it, when is it celebrated, how is it celebrated. Were you an elitism? No, I did not use legal edge. भैया कितनी देर session चली? It will go till wait, it will go till 9 o'clock, and then I'll answer the questions. Did you refer to CLAT post or Manthan or CLAT Express? No, I did not. I did not use exactly CLAT preparation like material for my preparation. I used UPSC preparation method materials, and it was very useful. Which company? I used the NLTI one. Yes, I did that. ये एक लिस्ट मिल सकती है जिसमें क्या 2022 or 2023 कम डॉक्यूमेंट्स है. I'll talk to Anish about this, and I'll try to get back to you over this. Yes, I'll help you with this. For revision, do you have to go through topic 3 times, or rather go through it once, like every once in a while? Yes, it is very hard to keep it memorized, and I would say ki uh, make like till now you must have made like dozens and dozens of notes. So try to shorten it as you revise it. Like, make it shorter. Like, if your first note copy was like about 200 pages, reduce it to 100 pages for the next time you revise it. The next time you make it 50, like reduce the unimportant info, because like as you keep studying, you'll realize that this important was not exactly important, and I could like just have done it without doing this. So, wait a minute, I need to charge my laptop. This might die any minute, and that would be messed up. Okay, sorry for that. Uh, so as you keep going on, like make it shorter and shorter. Like, I remember ki when I first started CLAT preparation, I had like about 4 copies, 4 or 5, I don't remember exactly, of like CLAT general knowledge. And then like during my final week, I created a 20-page copy which had like all of that 200-page, 505 notebook information. Like within 20 pages, like I had 3 notebooks of 20 pages. So shorten it as much as you can. Keep shortening it. Pratyogita Darpan magazine. Yes, Pratyogita Darpan is, I think it's good. What is one thing you would advise us not to do in GK? I have like one specific advice, like I keep it pretty special. I show that in the end, like I have it in summary, but some other thing I would advise you not to do in the GK. The thing is ki when you're preparing for GK, you have this tendency to like overreach. You are trying to like grasp at things and learn things which are like not even relevant and not in your scope. Don't do that. Keep it within your scope. Keep it within a fixed limit. You have to go through that only. Don't just go too ahead. Don't waste time on GK. Is UPSC material enough for CLAT? It's more than enough actually. Like, UPSC goes into too much depth, and I don't think you need that much depth, but it will help you later. Yes. Any other questions? You can text me, I guess. After that, summary, don't stress. Pretty important. I freaked out a lot during the last week. I kept having like panic attacks and all, I guess. I was not able to like focus much because I was in stress, because I thought I had not prepared enough. And don't do that. Like, remember ki whatever you have done, that is more than enough, because you have tried to best of your ability, and you can't like have done any more. Keep revising and remembering. Yes, revise what you have done. Like, I used to like, I was not able to sleep during the last week, so like I kept going back. I used to like take out my those 20-page file notebooks, and I used to like keep reading it again and again, so that I remember ki I made this note, I had remembered this. And try to remember if there are any gaps in your knowledge. Like, I learned ki this award existed, like so and so people received it, but did I remember ki who organized it, like who is the one giving out that award? If you don't, then That's a blunder. You have to remember that. Don't waste your time reading passages exams. That was my advice. I think Arpita asked that. So yes, don't waste your time reading passages exam. I like did that a lot in my mocks. I stopped it in like the CLAT exam. Like if they are asking you a question in CLAT GK section, then I don't think they'll be including that in the passage. So don't read the passage. Like, read the first sentence. You'll get a ballpark ki, this passage is talking about this so and so theme, and you'll like get an idea ki, do I remember about that or do I not? And then you go to the questions. Don't waste your time reading the entire passage, like 450 words, and frankly, you don't have enough time, and it doesn't matter at all. So yes, did you refer to Drishti IS Compendium or Visual IS Compendium? Did you made notes in the compendium or not? I made notes in the compendium. Yes, I did not use. Yes, I used the Vision IS a little, and like I use the NLTI one because, it is pretty good. What are some important environment related topics? Environmental topics. I can like just run a quick Google search on that for you. There's this thing called SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. These 17 goals, I can't express how important they are. Like, don't go through this. It's easier to like just, I use this exact photo. I'll show you this one. I don't think you can see this. Can you? Yes, you can. Or like this one, 17 one. Yes, this one was exactly what I used. So like, you have to remember all the names of those. Like, one, no poverty, two, zero hunger. You have to remember it in the exact same order. Don't mess the order up. Like there were a lot of CLAT mocks also, and I think it was in the CLAT examinations also. Ki they asked you ki the so and so event is being highlighted in this passage. Tell us which SDG does it relate to, which SDG is relevant to this topic. So you have to say ki this is relevant to life below water, or climate action, or like so and so. You have to like remember all about this, and like SDG, and is there anything else? The meets, the global summits. I think there was some like government, I don't remember the exact name, but government climate change. COO, yes. CO23, COP, sorry. So these are like very, very, very important. Like during my CLAT prep, like COP23 had recently happened. So I had to like study for that. Like remember the events, like COPs, remember all of them. See about this, like, do you remember ki I did not know this personally ki UNFCCC was the one which organized COP. I had to like read this during my CLAT prep. So like you have to remember ki UNFCCC organizes it. So like you can just then go for this UNFCCC. You can read ki so and so it was drafted on so and so time. It was so and like you have to read ki who formulated it and so and so. Like read the Wikipedia page. It's a pretty important. Like don't read the entire passage. Just read this text box. This is what is like important. This 198 parties have only signed it, not all of them. Like there are a lot of other countries which haven't signed it, and you have to remember that. And this, you have to remember when it occurred, who, like what was the location, and like you have to remember the first COP summit. I think it was like I think Bonn only. Yes, Bonn. Yes. So no, Berlin. Sorry. So then like they actually changed the seat of the secretariat. It was first in Berlin and then they moved it to Bonn. So like you have to remember that. You have to remember when it was formulated and all that. Uh, since when did you start preparing for GK with a serious note? Since the beginning, like, it's not as relevant in the 11th. Like I started preparing 11th. So no, but serious note, as soon as 12th began, I started, and I would advise you to do it right now itself. I can't stress how much importance GK section has on you, because it's of 35 to 30 marks, and that is like a make or break for you. So any doubts, any questions? Do we need to remember the number of signatories or the number of parties? They are often confusing. Yes, they are confusing, but you have to like remember them all. There are a number of parties which are like affiliated to this, but not all of them have been a signatory to it. So like, if they're like, just, I won't advise you to do this, but like you can do it if like you want to be extremely thorough about this. Key, like it will be difficult for you to remember this, but when you do it, key, check the number of signatories, check the number of parties, check which all countries are parties but are not signatories, and like if there are any big, huge, notable countries like China or something, you have to remember the names because they might ask you, key, out of the following four countries, which of them are not a signatory to so and so UNFCCC, like that. So our goals and resolution are international or national level for that matter. Forums are important. Uh, Very important. Yes, like India has adopted a few, like I think not exactly all, but it has adopted a few SDGs, and like you have to remember ki which are SDGs the Indian government has adopted. Like I'll tell you about this, which I prepared, and like it was pretty handy for me. The Matsya project. Uh, I don't think they'll show it like that. It's a project India. Will they show it? No, I think like this scrapped it or something. No, it's not like exactly visible here. I don't know what happened. So basically, it was key. India was trying to attempt to go, I think, 6,000 meters below sea level, and for that, like they were doing that as per section like life underwater wala SDG. So like you have to remember ki so and so happened, and like it was relevant to so and so SDG. So if you're reading any government policy, try to relate it to some other government like SDG which it relates to. The static GK book, which is provided by coaching. I personally did not go for coaching. I never like applied for a coaching. I did it on my own, but static GK book, no coaching provided me that, but I guess you don't need static GK much in this because like they only ask you topics which are like recent, and if you really want it, then I guess like go for a yearbook or something. That will like pretty much help you. Read the entire Vision IAS compendium. No, I read the monthly versions of that. Like I don't have much time for that, so I did not. How to know which events are important for CLAT, like legal development, national summits, awards, days, and sport events. Sport events, not very important. Legal development, once again, like not that important because like if there is some legal development, they will provide you legal knowledge in the passage itself. Summits, awards, days, all are equally important because they're not going to ask you only about summits. They're going to ask you like a bunch of like one passage will be about summits, one will be about awards, one will be about days, and so on and so. Entire monthly compendiums are only relevant, obviously relevant info. Like don't waste your time reading the entire thing because they'll have like excess data and you don't need the excess detail over this. So don't waste your time with the excess stuff. Any other questions? Uh, I'm gonna wait for a few minutes, and like until then, I'm gonna try to remember if there's something I missed out. Also, wait. How to make notes from Manthan for revision? Notes. I guess I'll just like try to make it right now. Like I'll show you how to do it. New slide. So say this is my this wait. So I'll like basically I'm not gonna don't do this handwritten, like it's way easier to do it by hand, but I'm doing it right now with this because like I can't show you what I'm writing in my hand. So like say uh how do I tell you this? SDG. Wait, SDG. I'll just like change it to black so it's visible. SDG and then draw an arrow from this. Like yes, this is like SDG is your main topic, and then you're gonna add subtopics to this like SDG, like say project number 1. So you have to like then Google SDG goal 1. What is the SDG goal? Eradicating poverty. So 1, eradicating poverty, and then like say Indian acts with in consonance to SDG 1. 1.2. you have to remember the targets and all. So say like, okay, India has like this deadline for so and so. Like India had a deadline for like achieving all the SDGs, like I think 2030 or something, and like they shortened it and also, you have to read about all that. You have to keep updating yourself about India and international. Like make a revision on all that. Uh, so the schedule and spacing of revisions, like monthly or weekly or monthly or daily or combination of the three. How did you do it? Uh, I did it monthly in the beginning, like in the 11th, like when I started doing prepping for the 11th, I was focusing on static GK until like 12th start. So I used to like, how do I tell you this? I used to like make notes on the static GK, but I also like made too many notes and that was error. But like when you're making notes, after every month, like space it up, like reduce it, shorten it, make it accessible, make it easier for you to read it. And then like next month, like read it once again, shorten it down. Because if you wait for like too long, then it like gets messed up. And like when 12 started, I think I did every 2 weeks and like doing my last 4 weeks now. So like do it every week. Make notes every week, cut it down, shorten it. Other week, do it again, overall again and again. So I hope you get it all. Any doubts? I was बहुत unexpected क्वेश्चन आया एग्जाम में, तो उन क्वेश्चन को अटेम्प्ट करे या स्किप करे या कितना कम देख के दोनों में गुड क्वेश्चन. Don't waste time. That's the like cardinal rule of attempting CLAT. So if you're attempting CLAT, don't waste your time. Like if you don't know any question. Personally, what I did for CLAT and ALET was I just like skip the question. I like if I read it and not able to get it, I won't waste time thinking about it. I just skipped it, went to the next question. And at the end, like I had 10 to 5 minutes. So I went back, I checked the questions I had not attempted. And like if you have enough time, try to think about it. If you're not able to get it, then like analyze ki, what's the probability ki you know the answer. Like rule out the obvious wrong answers, and then remaining you can take a call to like assume and risk it, but don't do that much. Like attempt like 2 or 3 questions only like that. How to select topic for statics should be related to current affairs. Yes, definitely related to current affairs. Like if there is some Constitution of India Amendment Act, then you have to remember ki when was the first Amendment Act, who did it, and so and so. So you have to like you have to relate everything to current affairs, because at the end of the day, it is current affairs. Shortening it wouldn't take away the information that was written in the previous book notebook. That's why I'm asking you, like, don't take away like the important information. Like, keep the important stuff in your hand. Don't keep the irrelevant stuff on your hand, because it won't at all help you. Like I tell you, ki, like, how do I give you this example? Gaganyaan. Say, okay. Gaganyaan is a, okay. So like if you're doing this, wait, what the hell happened? This is like this thing now, okay. Gaganyaan. So I'll show you SDG goals. 17 goals, right? Look at this. Gaganyaan is basically for this, right? Like space exploration. So like, look at this. Is there anything which is related to like space exploration on this? No, then it's not relevant to like the SDGs. So it's not important to SDGs, but it is still important. And then in this, like you can read ki Gaganyaan project mission UPSC. See, then Byju's exam prep is like good. Drishti IAS is very, very good. I would like highly recommend this one because I used this and it worked. It has like a concise version of this. So in this, I'll tell you what all you're supposed to like note and what all not, because like this, Union Minister of Science and Technology. Remember who the minister is. Remember which ministry that is. Okay. This rupees 10,000 crore Gaganyaan mission. Don't waste too much time on this, because they won't ask you the exact amount until like it's finalized. So it is envisaged, like it's not like finished. So like don't remember that. 3-member crew, important. Remember that. First unmanned mission is planned in December 2021. Don't remember this one. They won't ask you why it was delayed because it's pretty obvious. Mission by ISRO, right? So you have to remember ISRO. Who is the founder of ISRO? Vikram Sarabhai. Also, like there's this INCOSPAR which was formed before ISRO. So like it was started in 1962 to 1969. Then it was scrapped, and then ISRO started. So like you have to remember that, and then you have to remember who is the current head of ISRO? S. Somnath. I think you all must already know this, and remember that. And ISRO headquarters. Yes, I actually used to think this is like some other place, and it turned out to be Bangalore. So, like that. And then this 3 flights will be sent into orbit. Not that important. Modules important, very important. Circle Earth at a low Earth orbit. Yes, you can remember this. Yes. Payloads. Don't remember this. Too much information. GSLV. This is very important. Like which satellite launch vehicle is being used, because like there's GSLV and PSLV, and like they have different options. Wait, are you saying something? Okay, I think you muted yourself. So like you have to remember which GSLV we have, which PSLV we have, and like you have to remember all they have different stages. I think PSLV has 4 and GSLV has 3, or the other way around. So like you have to remember that, and you have to remember training in Russia. Very important. They are being trained in Russia. So detailed systems of Soyuz. What is Soyuz? How it happened? Who started it? Like how many spaceships have like Russia launched and all? You have to remember that. Soyuz is a Russian spacecraft, as it says. And like you have to remember Russian Space Agency. What was it? Roscosmos. You have to remember that. You have to remember when it started. Remember that. It's going to help you. What else is there? Upcoming projects. Very important. Very important. Shukrayan, Venus, Chandrayaan 3. It has already been like launched and stuff finished. So yes. International Space Station. Remember that. So yes, I guess that's enough. I started late 6 months prior. My current scores range between 80 to 90 with comparatively less scores in GK. What do I do? I would say don't stress much about you are not scoring much in GK right now, because like the GK mocks you are writing right now, they are like about previous current affairs. So like there are current affairs which are going to happen in the next 4 months, which are like you have not studied about. So if you focus on the future more and like the events which have occurred in the past 2 to 3 months, then that will be more than enough. Can you help me? How much time will you take for RC reading comprehension? How many have you attempted? When do you leave RC questions? You leave RC questions when you can't, like answer it. When you don't know the answer, leave it. Don't waste your time thinking and assuming and doing that. How often were you revising and making crisp notes from your first version notes? As much as I can. Like the first notes I made, I think I like crisped it down to like 7 or 8 times. Like sometimes I realize like I have shortened it as much as I can and can't do it anymore. So I'll just stop shortening it. I'll just keep it like that, and that's enough for me. So that is like more than enough. It will work for you. So guys, GK from 2-3 months before the exam is more important. Yes, Radha. It is very important, especially like not just 2-3 months, 1 month ago, and like up till the date of the exam, read everything. Don't skip the news, which is like a day before the exam. I did not make note of the newspaper. Like, I jotted down the important headings, and then like say, there's on the news so and so events occurred. You have to like write down so and so events occurred, and like after a week or 2, like Google it. So like it will give you an idea how relevant the topic is in the news right now. If it's not that relevant, then I guess you don't need to research about that, right? Okay, guys, from which month should we revise current affairs? I would say from December 2022. That's enough. May I just join? Can you just recap important sources according to you? Important sources, I think we have that here, right? Sources. I can't like waste much time. I have to like, my time is up, so I have to go soon. Anyways, like newspapers, Google stuff, like add UPC at the end. NITI compendium, very important. mocks? Did you search each event in news? Not each event, like the ones in the headlines. That's it. Which okay, that's it, guys. My time's up. I have to go now. Hope you had a good session. Hope this was helpful for you. Uh, I think it's being live streamed on YouTube right now, so it's all right. Uh, thank you, guys. It was really fun interacting with you all. Bye. I need to like figure out how to stop this also first. I know. Okay, bye. Bye, Chirag. Bye, Anushka and all.